4, 3, 2, and 1. I think we are live. So, hello, and thank you for joining me today in another amazing episode of Technically Speaking. We know it's been a very, very long time since we've done a super in-depth episode where we really dive through and have a in-depth look at what's happening across multiple markets, across all the sectors, stocks, and crypto alike. So that's what we're going to do in today's episode. So if any of this is completely new to you, you've never done any technical analysis before, please go back and watch previous episodes either on the Blockchain Sensei YouTube channel or on the Voice of Crypto YouTube channel. Make sure you drop a like and make sure you subscribe. And ultimately, make sure you tell a friend so that that friend can tell a friend and we can all win together. So first things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the disclaimer because we don't want to get into any trouble because everything that we say in this is not financial advice. So all content is for education, information, and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice or recommendation to buy, sell, hold any assets, or place any trades. Please do your own research. Our content is intended and should only be used for informational use. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment, which should be based on your own individual circumstances. You should always take independent professional advice from a professional advisor or independently research and verify all and any information you may find on our show that you wish to rely upon, whether you wish to make an investment decision or otherwise. All investments come with risk, so please do your own research. We are not financial advisors and do not intend to be perceived or received as financial advisors. However, we are working in collaboration with several accredited advisors. If you're unable to mitigate your risk, then please contact us immediately so we can refer you to an accredited financial advisor. So let's get into it and into what's been happening in the markets and where we think the markets are heading next. So we're going to wrap up today's show with a little bit of talk on what's happening with Fetch. But as you know, what we do whenever it comes to assessing the markets, we always start with the big boys first. So who's the biggest boy in the market? It's Vanguard, in our opinion. So we're going to go and look at the Vanguard total market and just see the general direction that we're picking up and the general vibe that we're picking up here. So we can see that there's a major uptrend that's been happening. So we can see it here, which has now been running for since 10th of October. It's been following this uptrend quite nicely. So just from this alone, you would be able to get into some really nice trades, just trading the market up. You had a really nice bounce here, and it also created a support line here, as we can see here. And this was also a moving average. We'll see if this picks up on the weekly. As you can see, this was a 200-week moving average, and we bounced really nicely off here. So we had loads of confirmation suggesting that the market was going to turn around in around December, and we've had that continue, and now we've had the markets just really support this area here again on the 150 moving average. So all signs are bullish. So again, the key thing that we don't want to do is we don't want to try and guess. We want to just go with the direction. So if the weather is looking sunny outside, you probably want to wear a t-shirt, but bring an umbrella just in case. If it looks like there's loads of storm clouds outside, then obviously bring an umbrella, make sure you don't get too wet. So when we look at the 250 moving average, we can see that again slapped this perfectly and created the support line. So we're not underneath this 250 moving average either. So then when we look at the Elliott wave, and we look at the general direction the Elliott wave is suggesting that we are up for a very, very positive direction for the rest of 2023 up until the May period. So let's see if that does play out and if we're going to be bullish on all assets up until May. And then unfortunately, that would actually be wave 5 of the Elliott wave for the major markets, which would suggest after May, we might be in some major trouble. So let's just mark this in here for now so that we know May, we're expecting something major to happen. So if we forget, that's why. Okay, so then let's go and look at the VT and see if we have a similar type of thing. Let's get rid of the moving averages and the Elliott wave again. So we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of the 200. And again, we've got this really nice uptrend that's happened here. We had the downtrend, and then it started to use this downtrend as its support. As we can see, it broke out of it, and it's used it as its support. You confirm this support here and bounced up again. So again, just general direction is good. Now, copper, why we're looking at copper, copper is always a generally good indicator of what's going to happen with the markets, and it normally moves ahead of the markets, so it moves a little bit earlier. And again, we've got that same thing there. We've got a really nice bounce off this just here. So I'm going to get rid of the 200 MA there, and we're going to whack in the RSI just to have a look at what was happening there. Oh, it was already there. So when we look at the RSI again, we've got a really nice convergence here. So it's in line with the direction that we had. It's not too high either on the weekly, so that's also pretty good. So let's have a look at this on the daily for copper. And again, really nice. Would expect it to bounce up. So again, beautiful trading zone we've had here with this trend line all the way since September. So let's now go and look at the main market itself, the person everyone's following, which is the S&P 500. So again, we've clearly been in a recession all over since December 2021. So all of last year was clearly a recession. It was down, 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 down. And then we started to turn around here in October, which gave us a bit of a bull rally. But the question is, what everyone's trying to figure out, is this a bull trap? So what's a bull trap? It's when the market spikes up only to come back down. Now, if we're looking at this, we can see, yes, we've broken out of this trend. And if we zoom in here, we can see that it actually supported this trend here. So got a really nice support line just there. Now, if we break below this 4016 price, that is where I would suggest there's signs of trouble. Now, if we break below this trend line here, then we're in major, major trouble, and the markets are going to be going down. But it's looking pretty unlikely at the moment because the 200 moving average is bang on line with this 4016 price. And we can see the other moving averages are trending up. And what we're about to get now is we're about to get a golden cross. So what is a golden cross? It's one of the biggest signals of upward trajectory of the markets. It's where the 50 moving average crosses over the 200 moving average, which we can see has literally just happened. So we would expect a bullish, that's a major bullish indicator. So that's why we're going to mark this in green, that we've had a major bullish indicator from here. And I'm going to just put some text in to remind us what we had. There we go. Okay, so that's on that. And now let's go and have a look at what the Elliott wave is doing here. So again, we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement, and nothing really is coming up when we go to the auto indicator. So yeah, it's looking all good here. And if we go and find the trend, you can see that there's again a really clear trend here. We've got our golden cross here, and we've got the price touching not only a support line, but also a the trend line and the golden cross. This is a massive bullish sign. So would expect the markets to bounce up from here. So yeah, let's just see what happens. Again, we don't want to just pile in. We want to just go with the direction of the markets. But again, there's really clear resistance just here, as we can see. So again, if we break out of this, this would be a really good bullish sign. I would expect the markets to storm up from there. So let's add in a up arrow here, because that's what we're expecting. So expecting upward movement here and a continuous upward movement if we break this here. And we've actually got a bit of a wedge pattern here, as you can see just there. So let's see how that pans out. So whilst we're looking at that, we've got that direction there, but let me just draw in the top of this wedge and you might be able to see it. There we go. You can see it there. So things are in place for the stock market to move upwards, but let's not count our eggs before they've hatched, so to speak, on that one. Okay, cool. So let's now go to the VIX. Now, why are we looking at the VIX? Because the VIX does whatever the VIX does. That's normally does the opposite of the markets. So we can see the VIX was touching these supports here that it had, suggesting all-time highs. So, but now we've had a bit of a dip, a major spike up above the 50 here. So it gives a bit of room. And again, as we know, gaps get filled. So it does give a bit of room for the VIX to come on down and push the markets higher. So that's really good there. If we look at the AI simulation of the markets, again, the AI is suggesting the markets are actually going to come down a bit, which is quite interesting. Let's see what they say on the weekly. Nothing quite there. So let's go and look on the DXY. So this is the dollar index. So this would be, if this Elliott wave does play out, that would be amazingly bullish for the markets. If we get down to here, wow, that would mean we are in crazy bullish season. On unparamounted, really. It would be quite unsustainable that bull run if we did get down to there on the value of the dollar. Yeah, I don't see us getting that far. Maybe here around where the 200 moving average is potentially could happen, and then we have a turnaround. But yeah, let's see what happens with the DXY on that one. Again, why is DXY important? DXY is important because it's the dollar index, so it's the value of the dollar against a basket of other currencies. And this affects absolutely everything. So if the dollar is down, that is good for all markets, including crypto. If the dollar is up, then obviously it's not that great. Why? Again, we always go over this. If you're a crypto company and you're paying people in USDC, it means that all your expenses are increasing if the dollar index goes up. If they go down, all your expenses are cheaper. Okay, cool. So let's look at the 10-year bond as well. We can see the 10-year bond. We can see it's really creating a downtrend here. Let me just draw that in so you can see what I'm seeing. So we'll see what happens with that if this bounces down, which would be in favor of the direction that we're expecting the markets to go. Let's go and look at the NASDAQ, which is all the tech sector stuff. I won't use that one. I will use this one. Again, really nice here. Let's hit this resistance. Got a nice trend line up. So let's see what plays out with that. The Dow Jones. Oh, let me just go back to the NDX here a second on the daily. So we did have a gap here, and that gap got filled, and is continuing to get filled. So maybe the NDX to drop down to around 1236 is quite likely, and then from there we'll see what happens. So anything below gap fill down to 258 I've got on this when we go to the QQQ. If we do it through QQQ, gap fill down to 258. Oh, 288. So sorry. Yeah, this gap here needs to be filled as well. So down to about there is where we would expect it to come down and then turn around, and which would tie in nicely with this support on the trend there. Let's see the moving averages. Again, the 200 is here, the support is here. So maybe max would come down to is 297 is what we're looking, but there is the potential for it to come down to 288 and fill that gap, and then bounce up. So yeah, let's see what happens with that. I would go with the trend, go with the price action, which is down, and then a potential bounce up from there, or down to here, and then a potential bounce up from there. So that's your price action movement on the Nasdaq. So now let's start looking at more kind of crypto related stuff. So when we look at the ARK index, please, we're going to go and read the latest ARK innovation paper. We have a episode coming out about that on Blockchain Sensei very, very soon. Let me just get rid of this. Okay, brilliant. So we can see there's been a really good rally on ARK, but there's a really clear resistance as well. I don't know if you can see that right there. If we break that resistance, I would expect a lot of bullish momentum to the upside for ARK. But yeah, again, just want to really see what happens with that one. Let the price action do the talking on that one there. Then what else have we got happening here? Again, we've got the 200 moving average, which is just in line with this resistance. So if we do pop above that 200-day moving average, that'd be really good for that as well. Let me just whack in the 250 moving average, so we can get a bit more of confirmation where we're at with that. So 250 again is at the same place. So if we spike above the 250, spike above the 200, spike above the 45, it'll be a major bullish sign for ARK. Means the bottom would have been in here, and that would probably also correlate with a bottom on Bitcoin. So let's go and have a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, as we can see, it's done its three waves now. So what do we mean by three waves? Three legs. So normally in a upward trajectory, you normally have three legs up. So this is one leg, and then it's rested, pumped up. Second leg, pumped up. So now our third leg should pump up from here. The major resistance, though, is this 25K mark here. So you can see point there, and it has come down. So where would we expect it to come down to from here? Around 21K, because we've got this really nice support just here. Let's just mark that in. And again, we've got a bit of a golden cross that could potentially happen here on Bitcoin as well. So it's all really bullish signs on Bitcoin. Let's just make this a little bit smaller. There we go. But let's just go and have a look at the weekly just to see what we see here. Let's get rid of, and again, it's acting as a resistance here. So it's a bit different here. So they're very important to keep in mind, and why we want to just follow the price action and not just guess, is because this is the first time, I think the first time in history ever, that the 50 has gone below the 200 on the weekly for Bitcoin. And that's actually called a death cross, which would suggest that the market would come down, or the price would come down. However, we do have that happen temporarily sometimes. So again, we don't know, and anything can happen. So again, you just want to follow the price action. But again, really nice support here. So let's see how this kind of plays out. RSI is in a really nice place as well. It's not too high. It's at 60. So we've got a bit of space to move on up. So am I liking where Bitcoin is at the moment? Yeah. Congratulations to anyone that bought in here. I'm now even more confident that this was the bottom. The 15K mark was the bottom. Unfortunately, if you've missed that, you've probably missed that now. And then, yeah, we could be on the way up, all the way up to 120K That's my final take profit point. Major take profit point, if you manage to get in at 15, take some profit at 59, take some profit at 76, take some profit at 92. But your major take profit point would be 42 and 59, and then cycle some of that profit into the alts, because there's not going to be much gain left once we get past here. And then once we get past 76, that's when all the idiots are going to jump in, or the latecomers to the party will jump in. Not idiots, but just latecomers to the party, because it'd be trending and it'd be hot. And again, you don't want to be buying Bitcoin when it's at all-time highs. You want to be buying when it's at all-time lows. And again, this confirmation, look at how low this RSI was when it was at 15. It was at like, RSI was at like 16 or something like that. So that's on Bitcoin. Hope that's clear for everybody. What we can see happening here, really nice support building up, really nice accumulation area here. So we would expect now the price to come down and then to bounce up. If we go below here, let's just bring it to 250 just in case. So yeah, if we go below 19 now, that's where if we go below 19, then I'd expect it to go down to 12. But I just don't really see that happening anytime soon, especially just because of the other signals that we've just looked at in the other parts of the market. So let's go and look at ETH. So I know I've got a nice little trade ready to go on ETH. I think that's just been triggered actually. So we've got a trade on ETH now from 16,000 up to 3,500. Doing that one on MetaTrader. And again, let's just get rid of some of this mess and some of the noise so we can see a bit clearer. Again, that means the bottom would have been here. Again, look at how clear that support is in hindsight. One touch, two touch, perfect. And that would have been at 10K. No, not 10K. That would have been at 1 grand for ETH, which would be an amazing accumulation zone there. Where do I see this potentially getting to? If we have a crazy bull run, I'd see this getting up to at least 10K on that. And again, if we look at how low the RSI was here as well, it was at like 28. So again, I think that window of opportunity may have gone, but still a good dollar cost averaging space to be in right now. But yeah, we've got this major resistance to fight off just here. So we've got this one here. Let me just draw it in. That one there. If we break through that, expect a major explosion. And then we've got this one here. Let me just zoom in so you can see those. In fact, I will mark those in red. Let me just go back because I just messed up my trade there. So we've got this area here with that touch there. All these touches here. It's just an area that's a bit difficult for ETH, as we can see just there. And the next one would be around here. But yeah, we'll see how this plays out on this one. Yeah, moving averages. Again, we're about to get this golden cross here on ETH. See how that plays out. RSI's got a lot of wiggle room. So yeah, all the signs are looking good for ETH and for everyone else. Elliott wave suggesting a slight pullback, which would be fine. Pullback down to around 1500, and then from there would interesting actually. Let me see if it's different on the weekly. Elliott wave is suggesting a major pullback actually. So okay, so Elliott wave on the weekly is actually the end of the cycle, so it's done its ABC correction. So that would mean now we're in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement. If we look at the last time we had the end of an ABC correction. Yeah, this is what we'd be expecting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be, yeah, that would take it up to around 10K in my opinion. But again, let's not ape in. Let's have a look at what actually happens. The FTSE, just thought I would have a quick, oh no, that's UK government bonds, sorry. Yeah, I was broken that resistance that I was struggling with. Let's get rid of these. Okay, nice new all-time highs for the FTSE. Well done. Finally, the UK doing something. But yeah, let's now go and look at the total altcoin market. So when we go and look at the total altcoin market, again, when we look at these lows and the RSIs here, this is just where everyone's not been interested in buying the alts, what might have been perfect accumulation zone. And again, you've seen things like Renda doing 300%. So again, suggests great buys were available for those that had the stomach for it. So now, where are we? And this is on the weekly. Again, bear in mind. So again, we can see we've got this clear resistance. 1, 2, 3. It's pushed the price down. But then if we then whack in the moving averages, okay, again, nothing major on the moving averages there for us on the weekly. Let's now go to the daily, see if we see anything different. See a bit of a trend there, actually. Okay, so on the weekly, on the daily, I mean, we can see we've now crossed over the 200-day moving average here, and then it's come back down, kind of supported it and been touched up by the 10. So again, novel confirmation that we'd be expecting it to move up, especially if the 10 and the 20 cross over the 200, even more bullish signs, indicators. We got this clear resistance here at 393 billion on the alts. And I think if and when we cross that 393, people will get crazy bullish. And again, if we cross the 411 is the major altcoin trigger, I would say. And then the final one where we'd be off to the races is 443. So why have I marked that off red? Because if you caught the bottom here for most of these alts and you start taking some profit when we get to here, you're in the money. And then pretty much the rest of your trades in the space are pretty much risk free because you just be trading the profits that you've made, not your own capital. And where do I see the alts and where they could get to their previous all-time highs? To be honest with you, I'm not like crazy optimistic and think, oh yeah, we're gonna get this again. This took a year to do. I don't think we're gonna get that again. I think we'll get like a little flash bull run. Okay, so let's go and look into some crypto stocks. So things like your Coinbase, which has had an amazing bull rally. Congratulations to anyone that caught that at 32, doubled up there. Again, it's just crossed over the 200 moving average. Then we've got our Riot blockchain. That's not doing anything too spectacular, but again, would have doubled your money there if you got that at 3. It's now at 8. Marathon. And again, all of these we did in our show. We did call all of these as potential good investments for December, January, because their fundamentals were way better than their technicals. And Nvidia has been absolutely storming. Would expect a pullback from Nvidia, to be fair, to around here, to around the 176 price, and then from there to carry on up. and then back to all-time highs. Again, absolute steal for whoever got Nvidia at 108. Nvidia to be 3 times lower than its all-time high is an offensive steal. So well done whoever got that one. Same thing with AMD. Down from highs of what, 162, could have got that for 55. PayPal, again, in my opinion, good run company. Down from highs of 307, could have got that for 64. It's now at 88. So the main one we've been looking at there on the stock side was Core Scientific, but I can't seem to find it at the moment. Oh yeah, there we go. Cause that's now been taken off. Okay, so now let's go and look at some of the actual cryptos. So we'll go by cryptos with their price to sale. So this is cryptos where they're actually making money, profitable cryptos. So we've got like the Gains Network, which has been doing nothing but making gains. Really nice support here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is just doing its own thing. Yeah. So Gains has been doing really well. TrueFi also did really well. Massive spike up there from TrueFi. Really played along this support line here, as we can see. And gains of 265 on that one. Again, once it breaks that 200, it's off. It's cooling down a little bit now. Would expect to see 3 legs up of this. So look out for that one. And talking of looking out for, look out for Lux Rare, NFT platform, doing really well. Actually revenuing and making actual money. Really good business. So look out for that. Then when we go into, what else do we need to go into? We've done crypto stocks. So crypto, just main holds and things to look out for. So let's go look at Filecoin, which has been storming. Really nice. I think we called this in the episode I did with Storm the other day and put it in our watch list. Again, really nice support here. Cracked the 100-day moving average, bounced straight back up. Now it's at the 200. So I'm not thinking that this is going to cool down. I think this might just carry on going, to be honest with you guys. And then Filecoin is something we've been drumming on about, absolutely drumming on about, just because the all-time high on this is like $500 or something like that. Something ridiculous. Yeah. $800, and it's currently, you could have got this recently for $2. So yeah, remember, do your own research, but this is on the DePIN. This is a DePIN project, so decentralized infrastructure network. So it's one of the projects along with Crust, along with SIA, Helium, and Pollen, that we think are very important to the actual blockchain infrastructure. Obviously, the one that we believe is the most important to blockchain infrastructure that no one cares about and no one really talks about is Polkadot. Again, really nice support here. If we, again, hindsight is crazy when you look. This clear support suggesting that this really was the bottom, and really nice low RSI. I'm personally hoping that we do get a pullback on this, but it's looking pretty unlikely now. It looks like it's had its little cool off. Expecting Polkadot now to go from here to potentially about $14 from here. Yeah, so look out for Polkadot on that one. Mike has had an amazing time, hasn't really been affected by the bear market as much as we can see. Expecting at some point this to get to $9, as we already know. Again, you could caught this for 0.3 cents. Well done to anyone that got that bag there. That would have been 300% gain since the dip in June. So we want to look at things that we're talking about right now. So again, I'll keep saying it, I'm expecting something big from Axie. So look out for that one. Oh, this is on the weekly. Let's go to the daily. So it's been sandwiched in here by the 200. Click the 200, came back down, click the 100 and the 50. We've got a crossover on the 50 and the 100, again, suggesting slight upward momentum. RSI's got space for it to do that as well. So that's now at $10. That could, let's just do something here. So from here to here, could take it to around $18. We could see Axie get into. Everyone's favorite XRP, you know, I've got to talk about this. So again, 200 moving average is slap bang with this fib line that we marked off before at 0.413. And again, really nice trend. Let's just zoom out and see what we're seeing. Is this trend an extension? Yes, it almost is. It's a bit tricky, this one. XRP, I'm just got no comment on because it's its own anomaly. Chainlink, I think this was in the list that we selected with Storm that we're expecting to see some movements on. Same with Uniswap. So revenue, these are the high revenue companies. So Uniswap. Nice. So let's go with Fetch. So Fetch, really clear support here. If we go below 0.25, I think the AI crypto hype is done for that. Again, we've been talking about Fetch for a while. You could have got it at 0.5. It's now highs with 0.5 instead of 0.05. So that would have been a 10x. You could have got yourself there if you were crazy enough to buy the super dip, but I don't think anyone was. Congratulations to anyone who's done that. But we've got this really nice support here. It was a really obvious accumulation zone there. So in terms of legs up, 1, 2, and now I'd expect another little pump here. Where up to? Let's just say it was here. To 1.3 at least. Fetch. And then the other one was Phantom that I was looking at. Again, if we go below 41, I think that's a bad sign for Phantom. But again, I don't think that's going to happen. I think with the bullish signs of the stock market, if cryptos follow that direction, we could see Phantom absolutely explode from here up to God knows where. And again, Phantom's something we've been talking about for donkeys. So yeah, Mina, again, is something we pointed out in our dojo. Dojo, what is the dojo? It's our private chat at Blockchain Sensei for people that have been on any of our education. But again, I think Mina is a great example of what I'm expecting the rest of the cryptos to do. So you can see this kind of multiple legs up. So you got your 1, your 2, your 3, pump, rest, hits on the 200, carries on. So this is the kind of shape that I'm expecting to see. And again, another deep in project, Sia, doing really, really well. So yeah, if you've got any questions, please type in the chat below. Be sure to get back to you. If you're interested in learning how to trade, how to learn more about crypto, drop us a message on the Blockchain Sensei Instagram or message Voice of Crypto. We've got more introductory lessons. We're going to be dropping some lessons on technical analysis and trading on Voice of Crypto ahead of the course that we're going to be dropping at Blockchain Sensei. Thanks for watching, and we'll speak soon.